So, coming from Reuters, JPMorgan blocks Anthropic AI access for Hong Kong staff. So I think this is an interesting story to take a look at that kind of shows you how disruptive the insane AI policies coming out of the United States are for companies and businesses all around the world. And it's not just for the companies and businesses that are in places other than the United States, right? So we talk about the AI war between the United States and China, and we hyper-focus on the concept of what do people in the United States do and what do people in China do, right? That's, I would argue, is relatively simplistic. We're all going to do whatever our politicians tell us we have to do, essentially. What becomes a little bit more interesting is the whole question of what do CTOs in Argentina decide? What do CTOs in South Africa decide? What do CTOs in Portugal decide? As I've said many times before, my concern with the AI policies for the United States is that if you're a CTO in Argentina and you're looking to scale out your AI infrastructure, and basically you look at the United States, which has very expensive AI hardware and software. And in order to buy that hardware and software, you have to go through a purity test and bend the knee. Not only do you have to go through a purity test, but it's essentially a continuous purity test. And at any point in time, if you fail the purity test or your president fails the purity test or whatever happens, right, your access to that AI equipment could be stripped away from you, right? So you build out a data center with 1,000 GPUs, expecting to expand it to 10,000 GPUs, expecting to be able to expand it to 100,000 GPUs. What happens if you buy the first 1,000 or first 10,000 GPUs and then all of a sudden your ability to purchase that equipment is ripped away from you because, somebody half a world away is having a little bit of a snit fit. And so what I've talked about, right, is you've got China. China, if you want to buy their AI stack, you swipe a credit card. In the United States, if you want to buy our AI stack, well, here's the pile of paperwork you have to fill out. Here's the dance that you have to be able to do absolutely perfectly. And here is your appointment to grovel at the knees of whoever we decide you have to grovel to in order to prove that you're truly an American ally, right? And as I've argued before, look, if I was a CTO in Argentina, I would be very cautious about touching the American tech stack. I just don't think I would have the risk tolerance for it. One of the things that gets left out of this particular discussion is with all of this, it's right, the Argentinian CTO or the American CTO or the Chinese CTO, right? So many times I've talked about this argument, and it's all kind of companies that are internal to particular countries. What becomes interesting, though, with our America's insane AI policies, is what happens to global corporations that many times are American, but also have a global footprint. What happens when AI policies come out and all of a sudden different employees all around the world now either gain or lose access that has become to systems that have become vital for their work? One of the things to think about with a lot of these global corporations is they want to standardize as much as possible. Now look, the people in the Philippines might use slightly different technology than the people in Iowa or whatever, right? But mostly these companies want to standardize, right? A salesperson in the Philippines should have a workflow that looks a lot like a salesperson in New York City, which looks a lot like the workflow for a salesperson in Paris. There will be regional differences, and there might be software and technological differences with what they do, but more or less, you want all of these systems to be working well together. So one of the interesting things right now, right, the Trump administration came out with Anthropic, and basically Anthropic came out with these new models, right, Mythos 5 and Fable 5. So Mythos 5 was this super dangerous model that's even more dangerous than nuclear weapons, apparently. And then Fable 5 is that model with guardrails on it. Anyway, somebody in the Trump administration, right, got scared of their own shadow. And so basically, there was a directive that came from on high to Anthropic that said only Americans are allowed to use those particular models. Anybody who's not an American, so not outside, but not an American, isn't able to use the model, even Anthropic's own engineers. So if you have a British AI engineer for Anthropic that is living in the United States, even they are not able to access those models. And what's going to become ever more interesting for these large corporations, such as the JPMorgans of the world, the Fords of the world, the Crafts of the world, all of these companies, what happens when their different employees in these different countries or with different nationalities are going to be restricted from using different platforms and systems. This is going to be insane. And so that's what's happening right now with JPMorgan in Hong Kong. So Hong Kong, right, it's a part of China, but because of a lot of historical stuff, in a trade relationship way, it's separate, but not separate from China. But basically right now, right, all this anti-Chinese sentiment in the Trump administration, there's all of this argument that the Chinese should not get access to any of our AI stuff. And so now we have these Hong Kong employees, right? And JP Morgan is looking at this and they're saying, what is our risk tolerance, right? Our Hong Kong employees are using the Anthropic models in order to do their work. How comfortable are we with the Trump administration at any point in time being able to do something stupid, and all of a sudden it might become illegal for these Hong Kong employees to be able to actually access that model? Again, looking at terms of service and all of that kind of stuff. And that's where we get into this. Again, it's just the stupidity of 2026. JPMorgan has stopped its staff in Hong Kong from accessing Anthropic's AI models in a sign of intense scrutiny on the technology's use outside the U.S. The wording of Anthropic's usage terms in its licensing agreement with JPMorgan prompted the bank to remove Claude models from an internal drop-down list of approved large language models available to employees in the Asian financial hub. And so that's going to be one of the interesting things too, to think like legally. So in the US, really in any country, right? One of the problems with our legal system is discretion. So many people in the different layers of our legal system have discretion to decide whether or not a particular action should be prosecuted, right? So basically, if you're dealing with small crimes, speeding tickets, smoking a joint, whatever else, first you have the police officer, right? The police officer catches you doing something. They have the discretion to determine what they should do next. If they actually arrest you, right, you get booked in or whatever, then the prosecutor has the discretion on what to do next. And then when it goes up in front of the judge has the discretion on basically what to do next. And that's one of the reasons why we get disparate outcomes in the United States, because, discretion. Right? Well, one of the problems is, again, you look at things like terms of service and all that kind of stuff. Remember, these are contracts. But contracts are just contracts. They're not perfect. They're not great. Basically, they are a form of legal protection, essentially try to protect either side. And so one of the interesting things here, right, is if you look at your terms of service, if you look at a contract, many times there are ways that contract can be interpreted. If you really want to get sad about our legal system, look at the interpretations of law or interpretations of contracts, right? And here's the thing, right? If you look at this terms of service and you look at this contract, right? And the US government is not trying to kneecap China. You may look at it and go, well, I suppose in a particular light, maybe people in Hong Kong maybe shouldn't access this, but who cares? Look, it's a model. Everybody around the world can use the model. We're getting, we're not doing anything hinky about it. We're buying it in the normal marketplace. So maybe we're not going to worry about it, right? Maybe we get a fine. Maybe we get $1,000 fine. It's JP Morgan. Maybe we get $100,000 fine. But honestly, who cares? Whatever. It should be fine, right? That's the thing. That's the thing you do as a business person. Sometimes you just look at contracts. You're like, it'll be fine. That's where you always get the intern or whatever. Like, well, I would want to know 100%. And you're like, yeah, that's why you're the intern, bucko. That's why you're the intern. This should work, right? Well, here's the thing. What happens when the federal government of the United States becomes antagonistic against another country, becomes antagonistic towards a particular company? And think about this, right? The Trump administration is trying to punish Anthropic. Right? Dario simply said that he didn't want his model to be used for completely autonomous weapon systems and mass surveillance of Americans. Right? And saying no to Trump for anything is not acceptable. Right? If somebody has a rapist mentality, the only answer they will accept is yes. Right? And if you try to say no over anything, they are gonna try to beat the ever-loving crap out of you. And so that's what we see, where with the Department of Defense, they're trying to rip them out of the Department of Defense, even as they're using them to kill people in Iran. I don't get this whole thing. Anyways, right? So there's a whole bunch of destructive stuff that the Trump administration is trying to do there. But the courts have stepped in and said, no, you don't... Trump does not have the right to punish this company simply by diktat because it made him cry, right? And so that's one of the things we see now with the whole Mythos 5 and the Fable 5 fiasco going on, right? Where no non-American is allowed to use it. Is you look at the government's argument, and it's pretty weak. It's pretty weak. And even if it was strong, even if it was a good argument, the problem is that argument would pertain to a lot of other AI companies too, right? If their argument over Mythos 5 and Fable 5 is legit, it also means OpenAI would be screwed. And it also means Grok would be screwed. And it also means all these other companies would be screwed too. So it's interesting that Anthropic is the only one to be taking the brunt of the actions. And so something you have to think about, if you are a customer of Anthropic, and the Trump administration has already tried to rip Anthropic out of the government, and that hasn't worked so well, right? Courts have pushed back, right? Now Trump administration is trying to kneecap with them with this whole Mythos 5, Fable 5 thing. And that is, again, we'll see from a business standpoint how that actually works out. In the end of the day, it is painful, it is stupid, but it might not be painful enough. You know what would be really painful to Anthropic? You know what would really kneecap Dario? What if the US government started going after Anthropic's customers? What if having an Anthropic product within your infrastructure was literally inviting the federal government to come and start busting your balls? Right? If you're a CTO, if you're a director of technology or whatever else, if you start seeing Anthropic as an actual risk to the overall organization, it is easier to rip Anthropic out now and figure out things later, right? And so this is a lot of the stuff to be thinking about with this whole disaster of the American AI policy, is just when you start looking at this, right? How do large global corporations deal with these particular policies? If we go down here, the move follows a similar decision by Goldman Sachs, which in April removed Claude from a list of approved tools available to its Hong Kong-based bankers. While AI models built by U.S. firms are not available in mainland China, Hong Kong has largely remained a market where some models operate with usage limits set by U.S. companies. Earlier this week, U.S. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick, in a letter to Anthropic CEO Dario Amodei, ordered the company to suspend exports of its Mythos and Fable AI models to destinations worldwide and all foreign nationals, citing concerns they could be used by military intelligence users in China, Russia, and other countries of concern. So this will be an interesting thing to watch moving forward. Remember, the big thing as a technology decision maker is you are integrating all of these technologies into the workflows. The idea, right? There's a testing phase. There is a testing phase where you test stuff and you expect it to blow up. But at some point, you move from testing to putting this onto everybody's computer, and they are just simply expected to use it, right? Nobody is expecting in 2026 that Outlook or Gmail is going to blow up, right? Gmail is going to be, there was a period of time, 20 years ago, there was a period of time where if Gmail acted quirky, well, that's what do you expect out of a beta product, right? It's been a long time since that, right? There's a point when you move from testing into production, ship it out. And so the big concern here is what happens when you ship these tools out and then different employees around the world are able to access different tools legally. And also think about this like with Anthropic. So Anthropic specifically went after the coding market, and not just the coding market, they've actually been looking for kind of like corporate workflows. Anything that can be systematized, right? OpenAI want to be the AI for everybody, right? And Anthropic really focused. So again, you think about JPMorgan, a company like that, it probably makes sense that Anthropic's models might be superior, or Anthropic's system, let's just say, might be superior to what OpenAI, Grok, or anybody else is able to provide. And all of a sudden, right, you have these financial people, right? You think computer people make a lot of money. These financial people, they might be making $500,000 a year. They may be making $5 million a year, right? These two, when we talk about optimizing for efficiency, this is the area where good tools can bring just, like when we talk about outsized returns, we're talking about massive outsized returns. And all of a sudden now the Hong Kong employees no longer have access to tools that might help them be able to do things. So anyways, what do you think about this? What do you think about JPMorgan blocking Anthropic AI access for their Hong Kong staff? What do you think about this for global corporations that are trying to implement artificial intelligence? How is that going to work out at the end of the day? It is an interesting thing to think about, right? With a lot of this technology, right? They want the AI technology be at the core of your company. So what if you have a Hong Kong employee that is accessing a server in St. Louis, and that server in St. Louis makes an API call to an AI system that is not supposed to be used by non-Americans? Ha! Ha! It's like, Eli, if you were so smart, why do you sit in your basement screaming into a camera? Are you starting to understand now? Are you starting to understand why this right here in the modern world? I think this might be the smarter move. It's like, well, you could be a CIO or a CTO, or you could be in your basement screaming into a camera. And it's 2026. Anyways, what do you think about this? Put your thoughts down below. If you like these episodes, do remember they're on Spotify and on Apple Podcast. Link is down below. Also, if you want to follow me on LinkedIn, there's a link down there too. With that, see y'all later.